Hello, ladies and gents. Once again, this is a video that I've been wanting to do for a while. Now, as a gamer and a toy collector who actually shares a lot of these retro toys that I collect, I share them with my nephews, and obviously when I have kids of my own someday. Case in point, when we were kids, my siblings and I used to have this old Fisher-Price Western Town thing. It's, I don't think there's a date on here, but it was somewhere from the early 80s, we'll put it that way. But the thing was, I saw this on eBay a while ago for 15 bucks with free shipping, and it's in really good shape. It's actually maybe even better than the one that we used to have, and there's the date, 1982. But anyhow, yeah, that's pretty cool, and my nephews love it. So, like I said, I share these things with them, rather than just like keep it in a closet or something or whatever. But that's the thing. Isn't it awesome when toys and video games come together? Whether it's a video game based off of toys, or better yet, toys based off of a video game. But I feel like there's so much more they could do. So these are just a handful of ideas for things that I would love to see, like video games that should be made into toys or certain whatever. First off, the game Shovel Knight, which has been around for quite a few years now. It's available on multiple platforms, and whether it's physical or digital, the game has sold millions. You know, while to this day it's popular, people are enjoying and discovering it now and whatnot. So it's safe to say the game is a huge success, and it's popular enough. It's on 3 different Nintendo systems, along with other systems and platforms. And because of this, there's actually a Shovel Knight amiibo which came out a couple of years ago. And there was recently made other ones, like there's a 3-pack of 3 of the other Knight characters, including Spectre Knight, which is one of my favorites. And that's the thing, amiibos, they're cool and all, like for collectors or whatever. I still think they should make their own game for them, like a Dungeon Crawler type game or something, but how is there not a Shovel Knight action figure line? I know, I'm sure a lot of people have been asking the same question. They probably want to see it too. Because, like I said, it's such a wild success. I guarantee you it would be popular if they made a toy line. And I have 2 ideas of what they should do if they make a toy line for Shovel Knight, which I feel like they probably will someday. One would be to make, action figures with, obviously, like, articulation and everything, either about this size or maybe a tiny bit bigger, or make them about maybe that tall, and then they could sell them like the way minifigures used to be, where it's like you could get 2 or 3 in a pack, but I don't know, nowadays you kind of tend to see that less and less. It really depends on the toy line or whatever, but whatever. Next, let me take this game back out again. G.I. Joe, the one that most of us are familiar with from like the 80s and early 90s and stuff, where for the most part they were like military and whatnot. And at one point in the early 90s, or early mid-90s, whatever, they actually made ones based off of Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. Now that's actually really cool. I have a few of them, but one of the things that I always wondered back then, and to this day I wonder, is why did they never make G.I. Joe figures based off the Contra games? I mean, think about it. Bill Reiser and Lance Bean are basically military guys fighting aliens, and like I said, G.I. Joe were, for the most part, military, but they also went into space and did other things. So, and that's the thing, like I said, those were the G.I. Joes that most of us are familiar with. I know, like, originally they were those ones from way back in the day, like the big Ken doll type of things, but again, I know I sound like a broken record, but most of us remember the ones like this from like the 80s and 90s. And then it was somewhere in the early 2000s, I want to say 2002, they actually brought G.I. Joes back, but they were a little bit different at first. They were kind of more like Star Wars figures, but then they made them more like the classic ones. And then in like the early 2010s, they brought them back again because of the movies, which I wasn't really a fan of, but that's not the point. So that's the thing. They could G.I. Joes, they're kind of one of those things. They're not exactly an obscure toy line because, although, first of all, a lot of us remember them, but not only that, every now and then they kind of pop up again. So that was just another one of my ideas. And my third and final idea, even though I have many, many more, but I'm just going to kind of keep it simple. You know what I would love to see is Nintendo make a deal with Lego. I mean, like, basically, let me think about it. Like, if we had Nintendo Lego minifigures, or like minifigures of Nintendo IPs, or better yet, Lego playsets. I mean, it depends on what you'd rather prefer. Like, I mean, I love Legos to this day, so, and the thing is, where was I? Like, think about this for a second. We could have one of those, like, $6 to $10 sets of Link pulling the Master Sword, or, like, a $30 set of Samus fighting Ridley, or, because Legos, there's always, like, when they come through, like, through the years, they'll come up with, like, new play sets and whatnot, so it's like, there's usually always a space one and a Lego one, a castle one and stuff, so they could have, like, they could make Princess Peach's castle, or Hyrule Castle, which obviously those would be like $100, because castles, Lego castle sets are always $100. I actually had one from like 10 years ago. It was probably one of the biggest sets I ever made. Took me like a week to do, but, or for those who don't want the play sets, maybe they just want the minifigures, maybe they could make like a Smash Brothers set, which comes with like all the minifigures, like, just has like all the Lego Nintendo IP minifigures. And this is something that really could happen, because it's like, hey, there's Pokemon Mega Blocks, or Mega Constructs, whatever the hell they call them now, and even Mario Connects, which, she just fell apart. Mario Connects, sorry about that. But, so why has Nintendo not made a deal with Lego yet? Come on, you guys, you gotta do this. But, yeah, those are just some of my ideas. What do you guys think of this? Let me know in the comment section below. And I'll see you next time, so as always, thanks for watching.